This has got to be the best rapid fire auto rifle in the game. Chroma Rush has single-handedly brought back 720s. Now, I know it's got a poor rating, at least for PvP, sitting at a nice crispy 3.1. But personally, I think this is a fantastic auto rifle for both sides, both PvP and for PvE. Today, guys, we're going to be going through a number of rolls on this weapon, talking about what feels the best, which rolls to be looking for. Timestamps for all of those will be in the description below, so feel free to check that out. However, before we get into the review, today's video is being sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Raid is back again, our favorite MMO RPG mobile game. But fellas, if you grew up on turn-based strategy games, this is your game. With hundreds of champions, all with unique abilities, as well as countless combinations and tactics to choose from, Raid is a very unique experience for both PvP players and PvE players, as it comes with bosses, dungeons, campaign battles, PvP arena battles. But an aspect of Raid that we don't ever really talk about is actually its lore. That's right, the depth of its story. Take Fyro the Infamous, or as we all know him, the Fire Knight. Fyro, once a proud knight of Vokar, was bound by his own people to guard the treasure. This is why the Fire Knight shield makes him immune to just about every debuff and damage, which is why you need champions that can do multiple hits on each attack to remove that shield. Some of my favorite champs for this is Arbiter, Coldheart, Allure, great champions for dealing lots of damage and getting multi-hits in. Now, after this month, Raid's actually got a lot of events scheduled for the summer, as well as a load of new content. They've got brand new champions coming out, every single one of them looking absolutely amazing. There's also going to be a new rotation of Doom Tower, as I definitely want to finish that this month. Now, if you want to get a huge head start inside of Raid, down below is a link in the description, which will grant you an epic hero called Chronora, 200,000 silver, 1 XP booster, and a number of other rewards, as well as an ancient shard to potentially summon an awesome champion that you can get in-game. All this treasure will be available in-game inside of your mailbox. And of course, guys, you can always scan the QR code on your screen. Big shout out to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring today's video. Now back to the review. Chroma. Listen, guys, I've had a lot of love for a lot of 720s out there. Misfit, Valakadon, Stillfed. I can't tell you how many god rolls of those 720s I've hung on to over the years, even after they were sunset. However, since the release of Chroma this season, I have something to confess. I have deleted all other 720s. I've even deleted my Stillfeather, which I never thought a day would come that I would do that. But that just attests to how good of an auto rifle Chroma Rush actually is. Today, guys, we're going to start with roll number 1. We've got full bore with that big jump in range, although it does hurt our stability. Steady rounds, which kind of counters that loss of stability there, although it does hurt your range just slightly. Now, the first trait is tunnel vision. Reloading after defeating a target greatly increases target acquisition and aim down sight speed for a short duration. This is one of the best traits in the game right now, especially when we combine it with the trait Kill Clip, which grants us a 33% buff there in damage. What's so beautiful about these two traits in combination, and we did the same trait combination roll review on Shayura's Wrath, and it was so good. And it's because there's no downtime. The moment you get a kill and you reload, boom, you've got both of these perks activated, ready to go to Pound Town. And here recently, Bungie gave some hard values to why tunnel vision feels so good. It adds plus 20 aim assist. On top of that, it adds plus 20 in accuracy, as well as a bump there in cone multipliers towards both auto aim and magnetism. And essentially, that's what aim assist is broken down to. Those are the two components, both its auto aim, bullet bending, and magnetism / reticle stickiness. All of those things are getting substantially buffed there from tunnel vision. On top of the increase in damage there from Kill Clip, it's nasty, fellas. Honestly, Chroma Rush has blown me away. TTK wise, rapid fires are actually really good inside of Crucible at 0.77 seconds. It's got some slight forgiveness there, only requiring 9 crits in 1 body. But with Kill Clip, shooting at 720 rounds per minute, doing approximately 27 damage per crit and 17 per body. By the way, there is some rounding there, so don't be confused if you see some of the damage numbers being different on your screen, but we're roughly looking at a 0.58 time to kill value with Chroma Rush and Kill Clip. All of this being guided by the nastiness and stickiness of tunnel vision. It is such a good trait. You will find yourself in situations peeking right back into battle, nearly dead or one shot, but you feel like a monster when you proc tunnel vision, especially tunnel vision with Kill Clip. And it is disgusting here on Chroma. However, was this the god roll? Which takes us to our next roll. Big shout out to Rage and Sharks for allowing us to get on his account. I wanted to directly compare mano a mano, the direct opposites of these traits. And that's actually this combination right here, guys. We have small bore for that bump there in range and stability, although there is arrowhead break on this, and we're going to talk about that a little more when we get to our conclusion of the God roll. Accurized rounds for that big bump there in range. Heating up, which states that final blows with this weapon increases accuracy and stability while improving vertical recoil. This is a really good trait. Again, similar to tunnel vision, but perfectly combines with the damage trait Rampage. Kills with this weapon temporarily grant increased damage, stacks up to 3 times. Now, Rampage does give you at times 3 a 33% buff, but of course, you don't get it after just 1 kill. You have to get 3 kills in order to actually secure that times 3. Some archetypes really benefit from Rampage. Take 120s for instance, with a single stack of Rampage can immediately start 2-tapping, but do 720 round per minute auto rifles benefit much from Rampage? At 1 stack, it does kick our damage up to 22 per crit and 14 per body. By the way, there is some rounding here. At 2 stacks, it kicks it up to 24 per crit and 16 per body. And at 3 stacks, 27 per crit and 17 per body. In the grand scheme of things, no. Rampage really doesn't change the TTK value all that much. However, what this roll allows you to do is to dip into that intrinsic rapid fire frame perk, that deeper ammo reserve perk. You've got a huge mag, 51 rounds in this magazine. All you have to do is just lay on the trigger. And if there's one thing Heating Up and Rampage can do together perfectly inside of PvP, it's melt enemies one after another with no pause or delay in between. And Heating Up, by the way, has a ton of benefits, but one of the most noticeable benefits is that it gives you 15 accuracy per stack, maxing out at 3 stacks. So it actually goes beyond tunnel vision at times 3. So the more kills you get with Chroma Rush and this trait combination, the deadlier and more accurate it gets. Do you hear how nasty this is? It's actually unreal how well this roll actually works. And Rampage, for the most part, on 720s has never been really a crazy option I go for. Even on Valakadin, way back when, I had a kill clip roll, and that was the roll that I liked above all my other 720s. Rampage was just one of those I would use if that was my only damage dealing perk in that final column. But playing with this trait combination on a weapon that has so much room to breathe with that large magazine size, it was a beautiful experience, guys. Which takes us to the God roll portion for PvP. And don't worry, for my PvE players, we're going to talk about you in just a moment. For PvP, man, it's tough because honestly, I can't tell you which one I would decide more here between tunnel vision, kill clip, or Heating Up and Rampage. Both of these trait combinations are amazing. And you know what's so crazy? A few sandboxes ago, I would have told you all day long dynamic sway in that first trait column and nothing else. But that's just how good both tunnel vision and Heating Up is. The weapon by default already has great target acquisition, and amongst 720s, it is by far the best when it comes to landing consecutive crits. So in my opinion, Chroma Rush is already at 10. Heating Up, tunnel vision allows you to dial it up to 11 and beyond. I think either one of these trait combinations, whether tunnel vision, kill clip, or Heating Up Rampage, will serve you wonders inside of PvP and elsewhere. Now somebody's gonna ask, what about tap the trigger, or maybe even tap the trigger dynamic sway? Again, all those options, they're fine. I've liked them multiple times, but here's the deal. I've been playing with those same options now for years. It's nice finally getting new S tier traits that go above and beyond what we've already had. So you can still rock the same old reliable perks, or you can try a little bit of this nasty. Now, I will say, one of the drawbacks to Chroma Rush is, well, the range being a 720, it's not that great. And Chroma Rush itself doesn't necessarily have anything better stat-wise or even in the zoom department over other previous 720 round per minute auto rifles. Matter of fact, the auto rifle that had the most reach amongst all 720s was Misfit. But the problem with Misfit was that it was hard as hell hitting consecutive shots. One thing I could say about Chroma Rush, even outside of its range, which is 23 meters, at least with my particular Chroma Rush at 42 range, even after 23 meters, when I'm starting to see damage fall off, the weapon still maintains accuracy. I think Chroma's biggest competition is actually SMGs. And I know it's an auto rifle, but submachine guns and 720s are kind of like in the same territory, especially around that 23 meter mark. And of course, you can get higher range on Chroma Rush. But even if you got like the highest range on Chroma, it's still probably going to match that of Shiora, which is a submachine gun and a very good submachine gun. My 99 range roll Shiora's Wrath starts to receive damage fall off at 28 88 meters. Now, SHREDS is kind of a special case as it has higher zoom at 17 over other SMGs, but you can see where the waters get a little muddy between submachine guns and auto rifles here. However, surprisingly, Chroma Rush actually has a better time to kill value than SHREDS Wrath does, which has a 0.8 second TTK value. Not much of a difference, 0.77 to 0.8. However, just proving the point here is that both of these weapons are really each other's competition, and luckily, they're present in different slots, Chroma being in the kinetic slot and SHREDS being in the energy slot. All in all, Chroma Rush to me, despite it having a really piss poor rating on Light GG at 3.1 inside of Crucible, it's a fantastic weapon inside of PvP. I am in love with it. Like literally in love with it. I've had many 720s in the past that I thought I loved, but Chroma's bad. Chroma make you forget every 720 you ever even saw, and that's the way it should be. Now moving on to PvE. Big shout out to Cartu for allowing us to play with this role, but this is the role I've been wanting for PvE all season long, and I still can't get it to drop for me. And it's simple. Appended mag for that bump there in magazine size. Subsistence, which got a huge buff this season and no longer hurts ammo reserves in combination with Rampage. I think you get where we're going with this. Look, I'm glad that Subsistence got a buff, but I will say this. It has put Actium War Rig out of a job, or at least when it comes to weapons that have Subsistence. Obviously, Xenophage and Actium is still a great combo, but the point I'm trying to make is that Subsistence with Rampage on a weapon like this that has such a large magazine size, it's a bullet hose that you never have to lay off the trigger with. Now, other roles that you can look for though inside of PvE, and actually one of the roles that I played with on the day one raid was just a basic Subsistence role with Wellspring. I was just taking advantage of some neutral game abilities on one of my classes. So Wellspring was really nice, and just sitting there chaining kill after kill and never having to reload was also very nice. But you can of course still rock things like Feeding Frenzy and Kill Clip. You also have Adrenaline Junkie on this for my folks that are rocking a grenade based build. Again, Adrenaline Junkie to me is extremely situational, although it does have a good duration of time there that you got the buff. Again, for the longest time, Still Feather was my baby. That was my favorite 720 in the game, especially in PvE. This Subsistence Rampage role, it changes that. Would I still take Still Feather back if it wasn't Sunset? Perhaps. I don't know, man. It's tough. I would probably at least let him down easy, right? Just be like, yo, it's not you, it's me. Chroma Rush really puts out. But really though, I have been nothing short of impressed with this auto rifle. It is revived an archetype that was all but dead. It's got everything you want in regards to consistency. It has some of the best trait combinations in the game, and it's fantastic for both PvP and PvE. So guys, get Chroma Rush. It's dropping right now. You can focus target it at the helm. Highly advise going after it. It's one of the top weapons to get this season. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching. And as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.